Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your AEW Dynamite review on Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. AEW Dynamite tonight, my honest opinion, was a decent, okay show at best. I would go with a decent show at best. Probably one of the weaker empty arena. Probably the weakest empty arena show they did. There were some very good things tonight on the show, but there were a lot of things that I did not like. Like we got 2 segments of video packages for Jake Hager and Jon Moxley, which I'm not going to talk about. It's just Hager training and Moxley talking. This is going to be a war. So we got that to look forward to next week. Hager versus Moxley. No holds barred for the AEW World Championship. I am hoping that I know Moxley's going to win. I'm hoping that, we get a good match out of this. That's what I'm hoping for at the end of the day. I'm hoping for a really good no-holds-barred match. We'll talk about other stuff that happened on the show. But I thought tonight AEW was okay. It was an okay show. But we'll talk about it. And we'll talk about the main event especially. Shawn Spears versus Cody. I loved everything about this match. The quarterfinal match between Shawn Spears and Cody. I loved everything about it. We'll talk about it in this review. Before I start this review, make sure you guys go check out the AEW Dynamite, the WrestleMania review, Saturday night and Sunday night that I did with Eddie Mullins. We talk about everything that happened on WrestleMania for both nights. Make sure you go check out the Monday Night Raw review, and make sure you guys check out last night's Dark Side of the Ring review, WWF Brawl for All. Make sure you go check all of that out right now on the channel. My back's itchy. We started off with a promo from Jake Roberts saying, do you have fear of standing in front of a train and getting ran over right in front of a train, or getting into that train with people you don't know? And do you have fear of jumping off an airplane without holding on to a parachute? Do you have fear of stepping inside to the ring with Lance Archer? He said then he was talking about how Marco Stunt thought he had a chance and he was big enough and tough enough to stand to Lance Archer, but at the end of the day, Lance Archer put him down. And then he was talking about Cody, and Cody being a coward, trying every which way to not face Lance Archer by having Shawn Spears in the quarterfinals of the TNT Championship Tournament, while Lance Archer has Colt Cabana. This promo was fantastic. This was another amazing promo from Jake the Snake Roberts. And in 2020, yes, in 2020, Jake Roberts cuts one of the best promos. It shows you a lot about the guy and how really good of a talker Jake Roberts really is. So this was the way Dynamite opened. And then we got a squash match. Lance Archer versus some dweeb, some jobber. And Archer beat him in 2 minutes. No detail. The only detail I'll give was Archer had this dude in chokeslam position, and he threw him freaking backwards. That was insane in itself. That was unbelievable what Lance Archer did. Lance Archer beats this dweeb in 2 minutes. Next week, quarterfinals, we get Lance Archer versus Colt Cabana. So we'll look forward to that one. Quarterfinal TNT Championship Tournament. Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida. This was, I thought, a really good women's division match. Jesus, my phone is blowing up right now with tweets about NXT. Trust me, guys, I will watch NXT after I upload this review. I will do it shortly. Hearing a lot about the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa match, but I said Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker put on a very good women's match. Hikaru Shida, she's racking up another victory in AEW. She's beaten Anna Jay. She won the Fatal 4-Way 2 weeks ago, I think it was. She beat Britt Baker tonight. She busted open Britt Baker pretty good. She was bleeding all around her nose and down her face. And yeah, Britt Baker still needs work as a wrestler. She got a little better, but not much. But her heel character is just fantastic. She's improved so much character-wise. I had no investment in her as a babyface. She is a million times better as a heel. And that visual of Britt Baker bleeding out of her nose was a great visual. She almost got the lockjaw in on Hikaru Shida. Shida reversed it. Britt Baker kicked out at 2. Hikaru Shida hit the Falcon Arrow. Britt Baker kicked out. And then Hikaru Shida hits the running knee onto Britt Baker. And Britt Baker loses to Hikaru Shida. This was a very good women's division match. There definitely could have been a crowd for this one. Even though we had wrestlers at ringside, if there was a crowd, I feel like this match would be much better, in my opinion. But this was still a really good women's match. I talked about the Moxley Hager video package. I'm not going to talk about it again. You guys know it. Best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent come to the ring with Orange Cassidy to face Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa, and they call themselves the Best Friends. So we got Best Friends versus Best Friends. This match was fine. It was a fine tag team match, but it was not my cup of tea. The action was fine, but it was just way too silly, in my opinion, with the Michael Nakazawa stuff. I am totally not a fan of Michael Nakazawa whatsoever. His baby oil gimmick is garbage. He's silly. Even Jericho called him out, saying that he needs to stop being too silly in the ring and he needs to start concentrating about beating up his opponents. I'll actually talk about Jericho's commentary after I talk about this match, because I thought it was the second best thing next to the main event tonight. But yeah, man, this match was not it for me. It was fine, but Michael Nakazawa, he should not be in matchups with Kenny Omega and the Best Friends, who are levels higher than he is. He is AEW Dark territory. Michael Nakazawa is AEW Dark. He stays on Dark. He's a dark guy. Not like he's a wrestler for AEW Dark, and that's all I'm gonna say about him. And the match went way too long. I did not time the match. The match felt like it went over 20 minutes, and it should have went 12, maybe 13. The match went above 15 minutes, and it did not need to go above 15 minutes. Best Friends got the win over Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. They all hug Orange Cassidy at the end of this. Again, way too silly. I did not really like that at all. But, yeah, man. really all I gotta say about the match. The match was fine. It's just, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I'm thinking whenever Adam Hangman Page comes back, which might be for a while, we could see Omega and Hangman Page defend those tag team titles against the Best Friends, seeing what happened tonight. And I feel like those two teams could put on a classic together. That could be a great tag team match. We saw a promo from Broken Matt Hardy from the Hardy compound, and he was talking about the segment with Vanguard 1 and Chris Jericho last week, and Jericho offered Vanguard 1 Inner Circle t-shirt, and he said he will take out the whole of Ass's Inner Circle group one by one. Sammy Guevara, he talked about first. He said that Sammy Guevara is not a true god. He doesn't even think he speaks Spanish. If he was to have a conversation with him, would he even speak Spanish? Sammy Guevara is a fake Latino, that Matt Hardy said, so that was funny. And then he talked about Santana and Ortiz. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about Chris Jericho, damn it. I promise I'll talk about him after the match. Where's my notes? He said he would call Santana and Ortiz loud and durable instead of proud and powerful because they're loud. And then I missed the part where he talked about Jake Hager. But then he said to he invited Chris Jericho to the Hardy compound and for an Elite Deletion match in the near future. So that's going to be awesome to see. I can't wait to see that. That should be great. Jericho and the Inner Circle at the Hardy compound. And speaking of Jericho, Jericho was on commentary tonight, and he was absolutely gold. He called Tony Schiavone Schiavone, making fun of his last name. He was talking about shaking babies and kissing hands in his career. That's what made Chris Jericho, and that's what Chris Jericho career got better. He talked about that during the Britt Baker Hikaru Shida match. He hates all the referees in AEW. He thinks they all suck. He doesn't even know one of the referees' names. He was referencing to Michael Nakazawa's shirt. He said, "It's so basic, it just says Michael Nakazawa on it. But you can go buy it on AEWshop.com. So that was funny. He puts over anything he can, man. He's gold. I'll put out a fork and cut a bitch. This was during the Nakazawa match. And then during the Cody Shawn Spears match, he said, Cody can go for the women's title. I laughed. And then they had indie wrestlers in the audience tonight with some of the actual AEW wrestlers. And there was some guy wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And Jericho called him Pineapple P. So I thought I would put that down on my notes to talk about what Jericho said on commentary tonight. He was great. I knew Jericho was going to be great on commentary. He is truly the freaking GOAT of professional wrestling, folks. Where am I? Brody Lee. So we see Brody Lee pull up. He's wearing a suit. This woman puts a suit jacket on him. And he talks about, there's 3 creepers there. One creeper is dressed up with a shirt and a tie. And the other ones are dressed up as normal Dark Order outfits. And he's like, why aren't you two looking as representative as this gentleman is over here? You want to represent yourself very good and make yourself look sharp. This man has a tie and shirt and tie on. You're wearing basic clothes. People won't want to see that at airports and meetings. They want to see good representation, Brody Lee said. And people were moaning on social media how this was a reference to Vince McMahon. I don't know how this was a reference to Vince McMahon. Has there been rumors of Vince McMahon wanting his guys at WWE, I guess, to wear shirts and ties to present themselves nice? I don't really know. I don't know, man. But this was fine. This was a fine segment. Brody Lee versus Lee Johnson. Squash match. Brody Lee manhandled this man with a sidewalk slam and his discus clothesline. Brody Lee wins. He stares down Marco's stunt at the end, and then he walks away from Marco's stunt. So that was that. Quick squash match. Brody Lee, I said this last week, he is killing it with the Exalted One gimmick, and I just can't wait to see what they do with the Dark Order next. I'm intrigued by this whole Exalted One and the Dark Order stuff, man. Very, very intrigued. Main event, the first quarterfinal match in the TNT Championship Tournament. We saw Shawn Spears versus Cody. Now, I made out a tweet how AEW did a great job hyping up the tournament and the match with Cody and Spears happening this week, and showing packages from the All Out match, and how some certain superstars get their opportunity and some don't, concerning Shawn Spears. So the hype for this match was real. They got me excited for the match, and this match started at 9:37 and it ended at 9:58. This match, in my honest opinion, lived up to the hype. I loved everything about Cody and Shawn Spears tonight. I'm not going to say their match was better at All Out, but this one was close. So in the beginning, it's slow, methodical, kicks, punches, headlocks, moves on the outside, basic. It got much, much better this is when it started to kick up a notch. When we returned from the commercial break, and Cody and Spears were still brawling on the outside, this time on the heel side, and then Shawn Spears takes a guardrail from the barricade, rips off the AEW TNT banner, places it slanted on the ring. Cody reverses it. He's facing toward it like he's going to slam Shawn Spears' stomach first onto it. Shawn Spears reverses it, and he suplexes Cody onto the guardrail. But Jericho detailed very, very nicely how Cody's heel hit the guardrail first before Cody himself hit the guardrail. And that could have difficulty of Cody being able to wrestle and run and walk. So that was very good by Chris Jericho. That was a very good spot in the match. So then we have them back in the ring. They're wrestling. Cody hits Shawn Spears in the back with his weight belt before he throws it to Billy Gunn. And then Cody sets up a table. Now, I feel like in one of the matches this year, I don't remember what one, it was a singles match, and wrestlers were using weapons, and Aubrey Edwards was the referee. So, and then Tony Schiavone brings up how Aubrey Edwards is kind of letting Cody and Shawn Spears do their thing, do what they gotta do. She's not gonna disqualify the match because it's a tournament match. So I kind of like it and I don't like it at the same time. But I mean, it's a tournament match, so it's whatever. But Cody sets up the table. Um, Sean Spears, moments later, he's arguing with Brandy Rhodes, who's standing on the apron. Sean Spears ducks. Cody almost hits Sean Spears. Brandy gets off the apron. Sean Spears lifts up Cody. Cody's holding on for dear life on the ring rope, and he slams Cody through the announcer table. So that was a great spot of the night probably. Sean Spears has this thing won. He could have won this match by countout, but Brandy's telling Cody, "You got to get up. You got to get up." So Cody, he gets back in the ring at 9. And then Sean Spears, he's like holding his head in panic. And Chris Jericho's like, "What is Sean Spears doing right now? If I'm Sean Spears, I'm going right after Cody. I'm not. Why would Sean Spears be panicking?" So that was great analytical advice from Chris Jericho. And then Cody, Sean Spears picks up Cody. He's going for his finisher called the C4. Cody reverses it into a crossroads, picks up Sean Spears, does another crossroads, and Sean Spears kicked out. And I'm like, wow, that's not the end of the match. I was shocked that was not the end of the match. So then Cody takes off the knee brace of Sean Spears, exposes the knee, puts on the figure 4, locks it in for a few good seconds. Sean Spears has his shoulders laid on the mat. He's shaking his hands like this. Referee counts 1, 2, 3, and Cody defeats Sean Spears with a submission hold by pinning him. Very, very weird and unique finish. I've never seen someone get pinned while being in a submission. That was something else. But Cody won as predicted. It was a very predictable match, but I loved everything about it. From the slowness in the beginning, and then we hit the commercial, and then it got kicked up to another notch once we got back from commercial break. I thought that this was great. This was great. And if we're going to get matches like this in the TNT Championship Tournament, we're in for a great tournament, guys. And I'm really excited to see what AEW has in store for us in this TNT Championship Tournament. Overall, like I said in the beginning, this show is okay at best. Nothing special outside of the probably the Jake Roberts promo in the beginning and the match with Cody and Sean Spears. I might go back and watch it tomorrow just for the sake of it. But I am getting out of here. This is your AEW Dynamite review this week. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe right here to the Big Fight Field channel. We got 4 new subscribers last night from the Dark Side of the Ring video. So if you are new, welcome to the channel. Comment down below what you thought of this week's AEW Dynamite episode. Like this video with the super kick. Follow me on Twitter at comment_Joseph. You can follow me on Instagram now at comment_Joseph. Follow Eddie on Twitter at EddieMullins515. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter tonight talking about NXT. Yes, I know Io Shirai won the ladder match. I'm going to go watch that, and then I'm going to go watch the Johnny and Ciampa match. We'll see what happens on NXT. But I'll be back right here on the Big Fight Field channel for your NXT review tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe.